And hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hey Ashley podcast, where we discuss finding our why, sharing our joy, and what makes us smile. I'm your host, Ashley, and this is my today host, Tracy.
Hello,
Better
everyone.
known as TraSpeaks.
TraSpeaks, honey.
Yes, please. Can you just tell the people a little bit about who you are, what makes you smile?
Sure. So, like Ashley said, I am Tracy Nicole, aka TraSpeaks in these streets.
Come on.
And so I am a diversity, equity, and inclusion professional by day. And when I have some spare time, I love to help people tell their stories, Ashley. And that's what makes me smile.
I love it.
Yes.
Can you tell us how you came up with the Telling Your Story brand?
So it came when I was working with one of my coworkers. Okay. We watched this TED Talk called The Danger of a Single Story. Mm-hmm. Do you know that TED Talk?
I do. You showed it to me.
Okay. So we watched that, and he reminded me, he said, Tracy, you put yourself in a box, and I know you hate boxes. And he was my supervisor. And he said, you don't have to introduce yourself with all of the bad things that have happened in your life, because I would introduce myself. My name is Tracy. At the time, I was a single mother. I had financial problems, and
so you were giving all of that away.
I was just giving all of that away, all of that away. And he said, Tracy, you are so much more than your story. And I said, oh my goodness. So I came up with more than a single story. And I did it to remind myself that I was more than a single story, that the past is important, but the past informs your future.
For sure.
And your present, right?
Yeah.
And I teach other women that who they are makes them who they're going to be.
Come on.
And who you are going to be informs your legacy.
Yes.
Right? And then your legacy learns, my daughter, my sons, that they can do anything that they want. Yeah. And so hence there comes more than a single story. Yeah. And my favorite quote, which is my mantra, is that your story has the power to break down barriers and inspire others to hope. And I live that every single day. And so that when you told me about your podcast, I'm like, dang, that makes me smile. That makes me smile, because when you can inspire others, you are, doing your God-given purpose, right? Because our purpose, though different paths, is the same. We're supposed to go and teach.
Listen.
Period.
Stop preaching in here if you come on, deaconess.
Period.
Stop preaching in here.
Right? And so you're going to do it differently than Tracy.
Absolutely.
Right? And Tracy is going to do it differently than whomever.
Right.
But we all have this purpose.
Yeah.
And my purpose of teaching other people to tell their story shows them the light to Christ.
You just all up in this right here.
I may not say it's God, but I am God.
Come on. And the light is shining through you.
I try, in fact, I know that I'm a light because I work intentionally. Yeah. I intend to be a light every single day when I wake up. So that's how I got to it.
I love it. So you also in all of my questions, but since you're there, do you feel like you know exactly what you are purposed to do? Or has God told you this is your purpose on earth?
God has told me this is my purpose on earth. And I say that because I thought I wanted to be an attorney. Ooh. Right? Because I've always been a good speaker. I've always, been a researcher. Yeah. And I told my mom, and she was like, okay. And she was supporting me, but she always said, you're a teacher, Tracy. I was like, no, I'm going to be an attorney. No, I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher.
And my mother said, I saw it as soon as you begin just to speak about being a speaker. Yeah. She said, I saw the teacher in you and you didn't see it. And I couldn't tell you until you begin to live it. Yeah. And I am put on this earth to speak, to teach, right? To go.
Yeah.
I was put on, this is what I do well, right? And it shines through and the passion comes through. Sometimes I have to say, calm down, everybody isn't like you.
Yes. Same.
everybody isn't like you. And I'm also a big picture visionary. And I have big visions because God gives them to me. And when he gives them to me, I have to do it. And it may not take off like I think, but I'm doing it because he told me to.
Yeah.
He told me I was a teacher.
Yeah.
He told me I was a speaker. Right. And so I try to do that in everything that I do.
So I'm going to ask a little bit of a deeper question.
Okay.
So episode 1, I told the people my definition of obedience.
Okay.
Transparent transitions leads to transformation.
Okay.
You said when God told you to go, you do it.
I do.
How long did it take you to get there? Because God told me to do a few things. And I'd be like, let's negotiate. And God's like, yeah, no, I don't negotiate.
It really and truly, I am 46 now. And probably when I turn 40 is when I begin to really think about it. Okay. So you know that I am married now.
Yeah.
And I was married to the same man.
Come on, story.
I was married to the same man. I don't know. We got married in 2003. We got stayed married for 5 years. And I was supposed to marry him. Mm-hmm. I don't think we were supposed to get married at that time. But, you know, God gives you, he gives you free will.
Listen.
He said, go ahead, marry him now. And I didn't listen to God because God said, stay married. Mm. And because I was Tracy and I thought I was smarter, I let him go. Mm. But God was like, okay, as soon as I did it, he was like, you know, you messed up. So now I'm going to let you watch him date other people. Yeah. And that was hard.
Yeah.
That was hard. Yeah. So I didn't really start listening and like softening my heart to the hurt that I had in our relationship in the past. Yeah. And so I just started listening. So
how long have y'all been married now?
3 years in December.
3. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is still kind of fresh.
It's still fresh.
Yeah.
Like we know each other, but we don't know each other as adults. Yes. You know, like out of your 20s adults.
Yeah.
Because
that's different.
20 and 30 is different, and 20 and 40 is different.
Okay.
Right. So I think like when I turned 40, I just started listening. When God said leave a certain job, I had to leave that job. Yeah. And I took probably a 30% pay cut.
Lord, did he provide?
He did.
That's all that matters. But in the midst of it, though, we're like, this ain't right. Can't be you.
Right.
30%.
So I have to listen. And because I listened, it was the best thing that happened. Wow. You know, it was right before the pandemic. Oh. And a lot of people had trouble during the pandemic. Yeah. But for me, it was like, Tracy, do this. Write this book.
Come on, book.
Help these people write this book, right? Yeah. And I got so much done in the midst of like grief, in the midst of pandemic. It was a time that I just wrote. And I know what I'm doing, for the next couple of years. Yeah. So it's just amazing. You have to have an ear, and then you have to go out on faith.
A lot of that.
Because everything might not work.
Yeah.
Right? But if you don't do it, how do you know?
Right.
How do you know?
Yeah.
And you don't. So
you said when you were a kid, you wanted to be an attorney.
I did.
So can you tell us what your fondest childhood memory is?
Ooh. My dad was a DJ.
Ooh, yes, Daddy.
And he was very strict. Mm-hmm. But when it came to music, he loved music. And he loved cooking on the grill. So my favorite childhood memory is Daddy playing 45s. I don't even...
Yeah, we know. They don't know, but I know. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because my daddy got 45s.
Okay, 45s, right? He had all the new... Back then it was records. Mm-hmm. All the new records. So he would play 45s and cook like ribs and burgers and chicken on the grill, and then have everybody come over, and we would just have the best time. So I really loved that era, and that was like between the ages of like 7 and 12.
Oh, so I did that for a while.
We did it for a while.
Yeah, that going for a while.
Yeah, Daddy, he was jamming. He loved it. I love it. Yes.
Can you remember the first time you felt real joy? So not happiness. I'm talking deep down. It's in your heart. Nobody can take it. Real joy.
Having my daughter.
Really?
Yes.
Were you scared?
I was definitely scared.
Okay.
I was scared on two fronts. Raising a mini me. Right? Because she was a daughter.
God gonna do it.
Raising a daughter first, right?
Yes.
And then, is it gonna hurt?
Well,
I mean, just being honest.
Did it?
Yes.
For those who don't have children, the answer is yes.
And don't let people lie to you and tell you that you're not going to remember it. I remember.
Okay. But you did it 2 more times after that.
I did. And that hurt even more. But Alexis, like, she is a mini me. She looks like me. She acts like me. She talks like me. She is a visionary like me.
Yeah.
So I knew that I had to make sure that my story was maybe not perfect, but I could tell her about it and why I made the decisions that I made so that she doesn't make those same mistakes. And if she does, I want her to know that she can still be a light. She can still achieve. And and really the catalyst of all the business that I do is because of her. She made me a mommy.
Yeah.
You know, and she irritates me sometimes with her decisions. But I like that we have a relationship that we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I can tell her and then allow her to make the decisions on her own.
Yeah.
So she brings me joy. You know, being her mommy brought me joy because I knew that I had to get it together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's my baby cakes.
I love that.
Yeah.
But you do have 2 others.
I do. And they know that I love them. They're my boys. Yeah. They're my protectors. Yeah. Right? They protect me. They check on me, make sure that I'm eating. Yeah. You know, Alexis is special because she's my oldest, but my boys are special in their own right. You know what I mean? Like Miles, my middle child, is a quiet leader, right? He's my Kappa man, right?
Yeah. Yes, he is.
He's a quiet leader. Justin, he's a leader too, but he's more introverted, but he is my tech man, right? So he's my photographer. He can build his own computer. He is he's brilliant, right? He's quiet and brilliant. Yeah. So I can see him as an engineer. He doesn't see it yet. Yeah. Just like my mom.
Just like your mom.
Just like my mom. So Justin is, engineer. Yeah. Miles, teacher. He's like me. Alexis is a creative. So I haven't pinpointed Alexis yet. She's an artistic singer. Yes. She needs to be in somebody's Broadway.
Come on, speaking into existence.
Musical, singing, doing makeup, doing costuming, because she's kind of like a Katrina vibe, right?
Yes.
She can style you. And look, you would look amazing. Yeah. So yeah, all 3 of them are awesome. Yeah. And I'm sad that they're not at home, but I'm just so proud of them. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was your fondest memory of joy.
Yeah.
In this season of life, what makes you shine so bright?
I think it's friendships.
Ooh.
I think it's having a circle of women around me, you know, from every generation, right? That are strong, that are, you know, successful, and not necessarily making money, but like living their dreams. Yeah. And I always believe that you can't do life without someone.
For sure.
And so that's why I'm so excited just to have this circle of friends that I have right now. You included, girl. Yeah, you included, girl. I just love it. So that brings me joy in this moment.
What would you call this season if you had to name it?
Girl, it's fire.
Come on. I love a good fire, honey.
It's fire.
Yeah.
It's fire.
I love it.
Yes, I think I have a word every year, and my word for 2023 is fire. Ooh. Because everything I touch is going to be hot. Everything I touch is going to be successful. Everything I touch, it's going to be fire.
I need this.
Fire. Listen.
Come on.
And I'm claiming it. It's happening.
2022 was my year of transformation.
Okay.
And I feel like I have seen all the transformations this year.
Yeah.
The hardest one is probably attitude. Because everyone sees this and they expect this all the time. Yes. And there are days where I'm like, this is really hard to put on for you today.
Right.
I'm struggling. But I never learned to say I'm struggling out loud. And I think this year, like you said, good friendships, talking to people and saying, I'm struggling.
Right.
And this is hard. And being okay with just saying, this is hard. So I'm going to let God give me my word for 2023. I haven't figured it out yet, but we are talking about what this looks like.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's big. God just does. I say big, and then God goes, nah, that's not big enough. And I'm like, okay, Lord, well, then you take it over, honey. I thought that was big. He like, nah, that ain't big enough.
You're not dreaming. You're not dreaming big enough.
I'm not dreaming big enough. That is what I've learned about this season.
And I think as women, as, you know, Black women,
yes,
right? I think we dim our light or we don't dream as big as our counterparts because historically we have always been number 2 and we haven't been number 1.
Yeah.
And so what we see historically in books, when we read, when we watch, is not Black women or women of color being in the forefront. We are always behind doing the work to make someone else shine.
Yeah.
So, you know, my fire is going to be Tracy is shining.
Yes.
Tracy is going after what you think I can't do.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you that I can do this.
And then show them.
And if I don't get what I want, I'm out. Just gone. Because I can do something else.
Yeah.
Right? You don't see my worth. If you don't see my worth after I tell you, then I can't be in that space
Especially
anymore.
If I've added some action behind that.
That's
and I've been showing you.
That's right.
We need to have a different conversation.
I'm just, you know, they say that like Generation Z, Millennial, and Generation X. So I'm right at the end of Generation X, close to Millennial. And so I think we are finding our stride and seeing our path, right? And we're not taking no. We're not taking no.
Which is good.
It is.
So we don't have a lot of people staying in jobs 25 years anymore. We heard those stories over the weekend. There was a lot of people who were in the same company.
Yeah.
But the theme was, someone said, I see something in you.
Yeah.
And we need to foster it, which means that might be moving you around in a few different places, but it was not here. Yeah. It was moving you up.
Yes.
And all of them had really amazing stories over the weekend. But I've said that often, that Lord, when you elevate me, will you give me really good guidance and mentorship?
Yes.
We always need, to me, I feel like I always need to be submitted under. So I have my pastor, you know, I have my partner, but like,
yes.
And even in the workplaces, unless you are the CEO, and even still, I hope you have someone you are submitted under, because someone has taken on that role beforehand.
Yes.
So staying submitted under, good leadership, quality leadership,
which is hard to find.
Yes. But also, I think I study mentorship in my master's program. People assume, well, I'm in a senior role, so I can be your mentor. No, I may need mentorship in one area. Maybe it's public speaking.
Right.
That might be the mentorship area. It may not be other things, though. Yeah. And I do often think people confuse the two.
Yep.
That's why we just added coaching.
Yes.
Maybe it's just coaching. If I've never been at this table before, that doesn't mean that I should not be at the table.
Correct.
It means I might just need a little coaching.
Right.
So I might be quiet in the beginning. So you know, loud, boisterous Ashley.
Yeah.
But I might come to this table and I might be quiet.
Right.
Because we have 2 ears, 1 mouth.
Yep.
And the Bible says our words should be sweet like honey.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, maybe I don't say anything right now, but I see everything.
And it's okay, especially in the beginning of being at a table, it's okay to observe.
Absolutely.
And it's okay to get the lay of the land. And it's okay to master their energy.
Yes.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might not have anything to say in a meeting.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything. Your presence
is everything.
How you sit,
everything.
Is everything, right? So, you know, if I don't have anything to say, that's one thing that burns me. You say a lot, but you don't say anything.
Ooh, girl.
So I try not, even when I'm sitting at a table, that I may be a little bit intimidated, and I don't get intimidated very often.
Yes.
But if I am, I'm quiet. I'm going to listen, and I'm going to take notes, and then I may send a follow-up email to let people know. So
I heard you.
Yeah.
So this podcast, when I created it, so God gave me this, so we negotiated.
Yeah.
I negotiated. He didn't negotiate.
I did.
He put it on my heart last year so I'm a little late to the party.
Okay.
And I was just saying, Lord, I don't really know what to talk about. I just don't really know what to talk about.
Yeah.
Now, my dream was to be the new Oprah.
Yes.
When I was a kid, I talked all the time. Did you also get marks in school that say she talked too much?
Yes.
The girl talked too much.
Yes.
And now I talk for a living. I
Yeah.
love that. But I just said, like, I want to be the new Oprah.
Yeah.
And I think Oprah did a lot of things really well with her talk show.
I do.
On top of being Oprah. I mean, sis has an enchanted forest somewhere. I'm just sure of it.
Yes.
But I love that she brought a lot of people on and had various conversations. Mm-hmm. And in the work that we do, diversity, equity, and inclusion, a lot of that work it can be uncomfortable. I tell people, it's not uncomfortable for everyone. For me, it's not uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We just have a difference of opinion. Yeah. But I think people assume we want all people to be like in the middle doing the same exact thing. Mm-hmm. And I always say no, because how you grew up and what has informed your life, your story, right? Yes. Your personhood, how you were taught, how you were parented, how you were loved or not loved, is informing all of who you are as a human being.
Absolutely.
Hence therapy.
Absolutely.
Hence therapy.
Absolutely.
And so my biggest thing with this, I said, God, if you want me to do it, you have to, one, make it work.
Make it work.
And he did.
Okay.
And then the other thing I said, give me something to share with the people.
Yeah. And
people have always said, you just have a really big smile and you're smiling all the time. And I just love your smile. And I'm always like, I love your smile because I feel like we do the same thing. So when you have that, I said, okay, guys, so then how do I bring all of this together? Yeah. So I didn't want a culture podcast because I don't feel like we need to be talking about nobody's business. I don't know what's going on and what they're battling. I don't know if this is necessarily self-help, but I hope that people get something out of it. My biggest thing was sharing smiles and joy with people. Like, I just want you to if this is the one podcast you listen to, I want it to be something where you smiling like, yes, yes, yes. Yes. And so my tagline is, if you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. Yeah. So when was the last time someone gave you a smile? And when was the last time you gave someone a smile?
Well, this weekend, my son gave me a smile.
Yes, he did. Come on, into Kappa land.
I was just so proud. I was just so proud. He gave me a smile. Yeah. And he wears glasses. All my kids wear glasses. So he didn't wear his glasses. Yeah. Right. And so he said, Mommy, I saw you. Right. So he gave me one and I gave him one. Yeah. So that he was nervous, he said, but he said that I saw you and I didn't see anybody else.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yes, it is.
That's all that matters. Yeah. I love it.
I love that for y'all.
Yeah.
So now we have us a Kappa man.
We got us a Kappa man.
Yes, we do.
I love it.
Where can the people find you? Socials, websites?
So you can reach me. I'm on Instagram at TraSpeaks, TraSPAKS. Mm-hmm. I am on Facebook at www.facebook.com/I am Tracy Nicole. On TikTok, I'm at TraSpeaks.
All of it's TraSpeaks.
Yes, Twitter, everything except Facebook is at TraSpeaks. You can also reach me. I am a public speaker. I'm an author. If you want help telling your story, fill out the message form, an inquiry form at www.tracynicolebrand.com. And I will get back with you. So that's me.
So excited. And I always invite anyone to share their joy with us. So if you have any, I call them seeds, right? If you have any seeds you want planted in the ground, we're going to pray over those. So you felt like your purpose, that God has put you here to be a teacher. I feel like mine is a gardener. So I'm really good at helping people plant seeds. Yeah. And understanding that, again, the Bible says that one plants, one waters, and God gets the increase. So I may just be here to help you plant a seed. I may be here in the watering phase of this life. But at the end of all of this, as long as God gets the increase, I don't care.
That's it.
So please contact Tracy. She's going to help you tell your story. And then if you have seeds that you would like to put in the ground, by all means, share your joy stories with me. My name is Ashley, and this is Tracy. Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
You're so infectious. I love it. And I know you hear that all the time.
All the time.
Yes.
It is a beautiful light.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you.
Perfect.
Yay. That was awesome.